welcome back to my channel. I am Ash, and I thought it would be fun if we started doing reading updates throughout the month, and then I can just compile them all together, and at the end of the month, after I film my end of the month wrap-up, I can post my actual opinions as I was reading the books. I've already washed my face. I'm getting ready to do my nightly skincare routine, so I figured just while I'll do that, I can talk to you guys a bit about the books that I am picking up throughout the month. So today I started Not in Love by Ali Hazelwood. And first off, I loved the way that she put that it is a bit of a spicy, smutty read by writing like a little letter, being like, this isn't going to appeal to everybody's tastes. And I am not the biggest fan of smut. The fact that she's like, yeah, this isn't going to appeal to everybody made me so happy, because I'm like, even if I'm not a huge fan of the smut, at least the author is aware that, you know, it's a personal preference, whether you like smut or not. It's just personal preference. I will say I'm only about a chapter in the book, so there's not going to be a whole lot to update you guys on. The book is about main characters Rue and Eli meeting, and their meet, and the way that Rue acted about the entire situation. I'm going to try and do all of this without spoiling anything for anybody. The way they met reminded me a lot of my first date with my now fiance. And it made me so happy because I got to little story time that it reminded me of. On my first date with my fiance, my younger sister, I was living with her at the time, was watching through the window, and I sent her a picture of his license plate because I didn't want to be murdered, and if I was murdered, I wanted my sister to be able to find where I was if, you know, I just so happened to be killed by a psycho. Like, I don't think that's all that crazy. But so, the beginning of the book and how Eli and Rue officially met in person and not through an app reminded me a lot of me taking a picture of my now fiance's license plate. And he was like, what are you doing? And I'm like, if you're gonna murder me. I don't even think I said my sister. I think I just said, I sent this to somebody, and if you're gonna murder me, then they will have your information, so at least I won't be gone, and somebody can sort of find me, even if I'm not here. And it is still something that he and I talk about to this day. And I am still just as nervous about things like that happening to this day. I think it's something he quite likes about me. But as of right now, that's kind of where I am at the beginning of the book. I'm really liking it. It hasn't gotten into much of the smut right this second, but I imagine it's probably coming, and usually what I do is I'll either skim through it half reading, or I'll try to just, if it's like pages long, like my only complaint about Haunting Adeline and Hunting Adeline was that it was like immediate smut, and I'm like, oh gosh, like, I enjoyed the plot of those books, and you'll hear me talk about that in like last month's book wrap up. But I am going to get ready for bed, probably read a bit more, and then maybe I'll have an update for y'all in the morning. Good morning, y'all. It is 4:20. I ended up just going right to bed after I read about, I'm 114 pages into Not in Love right now, and we've gotten to the smut. We have officially gotten there, so I've skimmed pretty much a bit of the last chapter, but it's funny because it seems like not so much in Eli's case, but in Rue's case, that the universe is kind of throwing them together. And I'm going to do these vlogs with giving as little spoilers as possible to the books, because if anyone is interested in reading it, I don't want to be the one that ruins a book for you. I'm going to end up reading this some more while I'm on like my breaks and lunches today at work, but I think when I get home, I'm going to full on binge this book, because I am curious about the work thing going on with Harkness and Kline, because that seems really juicy and it might be a conflict. So I'm interested in that, and I think when I get home I'm gonna jump right into reading that. But for the time being, I'm gonna get ready for work and get started on my day and see if maybe I can't clean up a little bit of the house before I go today, just so I don't have to worry about it when I get home. So I just got out of the shower a little bit ago, but I ended up finishing Not in Love. Oh, I'm not going to go super into detail on my rating and everything. You're going to see it anyhow when I do my book journal after this. But I absolutely loved every single character in that book. Manami is probably my favorite. I absolutely love her. I identified a lot with Rue, and watching Rue get hurt throughout this book put me in like a fight mode. I was so livid and I wanted so badly just for her to get her comeuppance. I liked it. I liked it. Aside from, it is very smutty. There is a lot of smut in it. So if you're not a huge fan of smut, maybe I'm bringing one of the kids with me. Always do. There are quite a bit of pages to, if you're like me, skim through. I just kind of move past that, look for any sort of important detail that could pertain to the book, and then just keep going on my merry way. I absolutely love this book. It was phenomenal. I highly recommend it. I haven't read any other Ali Hazelwood, and I know that this is one that isn't typically her style, so I'm excited to read some others by her. I also need to get my hair dyed, because on camera it is looking a lot worse than it actually is, having my blonde show through. So I'm probably gonna do that either today or tomorrow. Something like that. Hopefully, anyhow, depending on how busy life gets. Thank you all so much for watching, and maybe I'll do this more often. This seems like a lot of fun, and I'll catch you in the next video, okay?